This is Nicole Whitlock with the eCom Sellers Academy. And today we're going to continue our session on planning for 2020. So hopefully everyone had an opportunity to work on their assignments. So one of the assignments that we had from last Monday, I don't remember, Thursday. One of the assignments that we had was to go ahead and complete your, write down your why. Why do you want to do e-commerce? Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want to run your own business? Why? Is it to keep the lights on? Is it to be able to pay bills? Is it to be able to quit your job in 2020 so you have more time freedom? Is it to be able to cover college expenses or medical expenses? Is it so that you can buy a new car? Whatever the reason is, you know, your why needs to be your motivating factor. And tomorrow we're having a vision board session with Kelly. And so Kelly's going to walk you through that vision board session. And so having your why nearby is going to be helpful. The other thing that I recommended that you take the Strength Finders test. The reason that I recommend that is because sometimes you never know what you'll discover about yourself. When it comes to running your e-commerce business, some of us are extremely organized. Some of us are procrastinators. Some of us are free spirits. We don't like schedules. Some of us are very meticulous in our operations of our business. So everything that you can learn about your business and why you run your business the way you run it is going to help you become a better entrepreneur or better business owner. Along with your why, like if your why is not strong enough, then you're just messing around in your business and it's just a hobby, okay? And so I want you guys to take the opportunity to do those things. And the last one was to build a schedule, build a real work schedule, because a real work schedule that you can check off every single day or every single week, you can build a checklist around, is going to help you with being consistent in your business. It's going to build the habit that you need. Some of us need to build that listing habit. Some of us need to build that shipping habit. Some of us need to build that sourcing habit. Some of us need to build the habit of going in and looking at our back office or whatever platform we're selling on. But some of us need to build some habits, and consistency will help. Building a schedule will help you build the consistency so you can develop that habit. Now, before we get into this session, I'm actually going to ask you guys to do something a little different that I was not prepared to even recommend that you do it. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about me. For 2020, I am focused on vision. I am focused on what is the vision for my future? What is the vision for the future of those that I want to help and bless? What is the vision that I want to help build for our leadership? What is the vision I want for my own household, for my kids? What is the vision that I have? What is the mission? What's the goal? Where do I want to go? Where do I see myself? And so the great thing about 2020 is it's all about vision. It's all about being able to see and visualize where you want to go, to have a clear picture in your mind. And that vision board creation is going to help you do that. But one of the things that we're doing at eCom Sellers is I decided last week we were going to start a 21 days of prayer and fasting. I think that prayer brings clarity. I think that prayer can help you hear what you need to hear from the Lord. For those of you that are believers, and I'm a believer, I think that prayer is helpful. And so being able to pray about your business, being able to pray about those that are around you that will be impacted by your business decisions, because believe it or not, you know, if you are married, if you have kiddos, if you are taking care of other family members, if you're working a job, your business will directly or indirectly have some level of impact on others. It's going to impact your time because you're going to make it a priority. It's going to impact your availability. It's going to impact your finances because you will be making some financial investments. And it's going to impact, you know, potentially other things and decisions that you will make throughout the year. So I always ask God for clarity on what, and discernment on what I should be doing and where I should be going in my business. So one of the things that I'm going to give you for today's assignment, for those of you that are believers, is I'm going to suggest that if your church is offering a 21 days prayer and fasting, it's typically known as the Daniel fast. But if you don't want to fast, you don't have to. But prayer, 21 days of prayer, just about your business, where you want to go in your business, what you want to do, and you can start your prayer tonight, right after this call. But I just encourage it. I encourage it for everyone because I think that prayer can help bring some level of clarity. And if you are not a believer, then I would meditate on your business. Really get a clear picture in your mind of where you want to go over the next month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and a year. What you want to accomplish every single month. And what are the action steps you're going to take to be able to get there? So if you didn't listen to last week's recording or whatever the day was, if you didn't listen to that recording, I recommend that you go back and you listen to that recording because I believe that there's a lot of information that I shared. It's going to help you in your business and help you to be able to make some decisions. So we're going to move forward from here. So I sat down, or I chatted with, I didn't sit down, but chatted with some of the leaders, and I came up with a list of tips and strategies and recommendations that I have for 2020. But I also asked our leaders inside of eCom Sellers, because we care about everyone's success. We really do. We're on a mission for 2020 to actually help all of our members get results. And so results is really our big word for 2020. Is everyone that we impact, everyone that we work with, we want to make sure that we've done everything we can to pour into them to help them get results in their business. We're looking for positive results, not negative, but again, we want them to take action. So we're going to start through a couple of tips and strategies that I think that may help your recommendations that I think will help you, and they will be a complement to the last training session. So make sure you go back and you watch the last training session because there was some great information in there and some great suggestions. So one of them is don't procrastinate on the 5 R's. And your 5 R's are reconciling your business. And when I say reconciling, like reconcile your results, your reports, reconcile your inventory. Make sure you know what you have in inventory. You should know that information. What did you sell? Go back and run your reports. You know, there's a lot of reports that we normally tell you to run on December the 31st. If you didn't already do it, you know, you can still do it, but it's not going to give you the numbers if you had sales since December 31st. But reconcile your reports. You should be reconciling your reports. If you don't do it weekly, if you have a lot of inventory, at least do it monthly. So you need to put that on your schedule to be able to do that at least monthly if you don't do it weekly. But I would recommend, you know, sit down at least 1 hour a week and kind of reconcile your numbers and know where you are. The second thing is dealing with returns. Dealing with returns if you are doing merchant fulfilled. And again, merchant fulfilled is not just Amazon. Whenever you are fulfilling an order, whether you're doing print on demand, whether you are doing, you're selling on eBay, whether you're selling on Mercari or Poshmark or Etsy or Shopify, you're actually merchant fulfilling the order. So dealing with the returns. And you should reconcile your returns. Like you should always know where your numbers are. Dealing with refunds and what refunds are owed to you. So if you're selling on certain platforms where they go ahead and issue the refund to the person because they're supposed to be returning it, and you don't go back and you don't check after a month or after 45 days that that item has actually come back from that customer, then there could be money that's owed to you. There could be money that's owed to you. So you need to put this needs to be like a priority because you're either potentially losing money, money's dripping out. It's like trying to hold sand, like money is just seeping out through your hands if you are ignoring these R's. Reimbursements, if you are owed some money, like I just mentioned the refunds, so they're supposed to reimburse your money back if the person hasn't returned it. That's typically on Amazon's platform where the person was supposed to return it, but they didn't within a certain time frame. And so you're owed that money back from Amazon if they didn't return it. And then removals. So don't procrastinate when it makes sense to remove your inventory. If you've send it in to Amazon, you're doing FBA and you need to have it pulled back because you don't pay long-term storage fees. Again, that's going to save you money. So doing removal sometimes makes sense. Doing removal so you can do merchant fulfilled makes sense. There's certain times of the year where it makes sense to do a boatload of FBA, and then other times of the year it may make more sense to do merchant fulfilled so you're not dealing with storage fees and you're not impacting your performance index. So your inventory index, inventory performance index, I can say it. So I recommend that you make this a priority in your business for 2020. Because again, it could yield you money or save you money. Long term, bigger picture. The other is time blocks. I am an avid proponent of building schedules. I think Google or Gmail is a great scheduling tool because you can set up notifications, you can do all kinds of stuff. So it'll just pop up on your phone. You know, if you've got Alexa, you can sync it up to your Alexa and it will tell you what your calendar is. Or if you're not using Alexa, I think the other one is Google Home, but you can sync it up to your calendar. So it'll tell you throughout the day, especially if you're a person who works from home like me. Like it'll come out and say, okay, it'll tell you what your schedule is. That's the great thing about, building a schedule in Google. So this doesn't cost you any money to do it. It requires your time and it requires you to think about what you're going to focus on and what you're going to do. So time blocks, as I said before, I said this in the last session, that time blocks help guarantee or help you to get the things done. I can't guarantee you're going to get it done because you could look at it and still procrastinate. But if it's on your schedule, at least at that moment, it was important enough to be placed on the schedule. So that means you should make the effort to work on it. Now, there are optimal times in the day where we are way more productive. We probably all collectively have anywhere from 1 to 3, and some people have 5 really highly productive hours in the day. And then that high productivity starts to dwindle. We start to get distracted. And so there are some people that use different strategies, like they might work for like 50 minutes and take a 55 minutes and take a 5-minute break or take a 10-minute break so that they can keep that high level of energy when they need to be focused on certain things. And when you're building a schedule, when you're thinking about those things that are most important, you need to make sure that you put time on the schedule once a month or once a week to deal with your returns, your refunds, your reimbursements, to do some sourcing, research for sourcing. If you're going to participate in some level of training and increasing your knowledge, then put that on the schedule. But again, make sure you have appropriate time for the value of that specific activity. Training is extremely important, but it's only important when you actually implement what you learned versus just sitting there and watching training all the time. So make sure you put the important income producing activities on the schedule. Okay. What are the things that I should be doing every week in my business? What are the things I should be doing every month in my business? What are things I should be doing every year? You should be making notes of things as you go into the grocery store, or the department stores, or Walmart or Target or whatever. Make a note of what you see on the end caps and what time of year you see it. If you're doing retail arbitrage, if you're not doing retail arbitrage, if you're engaging with a wholesale provider that you sell a specific product or specific types of products, then you want to make sure that you put on your schedule when you need to follow up with that wholesale provider. When we're talking about the seasons, again, you want at the beginning of spring, you need to put a notice on your calendar to remind you to send in your summer stuff into Amazon or to list your summer stuff. When you're in the summer, you need to put a note on your calendar at the beginning of the summer to list or send in your fall stuff. Again, reminders on when to go out and source for back to school. That might be for you May or even June. Some people even start as early as April if they're doing bundles. But again, putting those things on your calendar so that you get reminders, and then also having time blocks for this is when I source, this is when I ship, this is when I contact my suppliers, this is when whatever it happens to be, this is when I list. Listing is an income producing activity. You should always make time for that. The next one is to reinvest your profits into your business. Don't blow it. Seriously. I have talked to and worked with so many different people, and they get the money, they make the money, and then they just blow the money. make sure that you're investing in as you come out of Q4, especially right now. You know, there's going to be at least another month of reconciling and dealing with returns, and your payout may get adjusted because of that. But you need to put this on your calendar to go back and make sure that if there were returns that were coming in, that you get reimbursed for the ones that they didn't return. Okay. So you get your money back from Amazon if you're doing Amazon. But also, you know, when you get to that where you've reconciled all your numbers and you kind of know what your bottom line is for Q4, you know where your numbers sit as of right now, then you want to maybe start investing in time saving tools, things that are going to save you time. And that can include a VA. That could include maybe hiring a VA for a couple of dollars a week or a couple of dollars a month. And when I say a couple of dollars, it could be anywhere from hiring a VA, somebody on Fiverr, to do product research for you. And maybe they're doing $20 worth of product research for you in a week. So then that's $80 a month. So you put that aside and you reinvest that money into your business. And when I make investments like that, I always make sure that I invest for a period of time in which I can track it. So maybe I'm going to invest for a month, or I'm going to commit to 3 months, or I'm going to commit to 6 months. But put that money aside so that you know that you have it when you need it. So when it comes to Q4, what I would typically do is I would set my money aside in August and start reaching out to the people that I knew were coming to my house to help do my shipments and send my inventory into Amazon. I knew I was hiring them for anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. So I would put my money aside in August, and 100% of that money would go to hiring that staff or being able to pay for that staff that was coming to my house at the end of September, beginning of October. So I didn't have to worry about whether or not I had enough money to pay them. I didn't have to worry about whether or not my sales immediately kicked in. It was money that I had already set aside back in August or in July, so that it was a non-issue, because I knew that the activity they were going to be doing was going to be valuable. So I set that money aside. Make sure you're doing that. If you need to bulk order supplies, do your bulk order supplies, especially when stuff is on clearance. You know, some shipping stuff is probably discounted, slightly discounted at some stores right now because of the fact that people aren't shipping stuff for Christmas. Clearance, I've mentioned clearance a lot. So there's still Christmas clearance out there in some stores. Take advantage of it. Right now, some of it's dropped as far as like 75 to 90% off. So go take advantage of that. If you have some debt in your business, maybe you are a person who takes out a loan to be able to, or uses a credit card to be able to buy inventory in large amounts. So you want to pay down that debt so you're not carrying that debt into each month, or you're not paying interest on that because that's a cost to you. And also invest in your future. Invest in the things that are going to help you become a better entrepreneur. If it's investing in training, if it's investing in knowledge, if it's investing in, coaching or mentoring, or maybe it's just investing in something else. Maybe you're going to pivot in your business, and so you may invest in something else. Always be sourcing, especially when you are out and about. Like, all of us have doctor's appointments, all of us have dentist appointments, all of us get our cars fixed, all of us are out buying groceries every single week. Maybe we're visiting a different store. Be on the lookout, especially right now, after Q4, for things that are not traditional, not typical. Stores that people typically hit up during the holidays, but may not hit up as much after the holidays are over. There might be a store out there that maybe has baby clothes or kids clothes, stores that maybe sell vintage things, thrift stores. So always be sourcing wherever you happen to be going or wherever you're coming back. And don't forget to take advantage of the tax write-off for the mileage. Keep track of that kind of stuff. Make sure that when you're sourcing, you need to go wide, not deep. You need to keep feeding the beast. If you're keep listing. If you're doing merchant fulfilled, or if you're sending inventory to Amazon, put that on your schedule. If your goal is to always send in 100, 200, 300 items every single week, then do that. If your goal is to double those numbers or triple those numbers as you get closer to Q4, then put it on your schedule so you can track it and keep track of that kind of stuff. And then use Keepa. I love Keepa. Keepa is a great tool. If you don't know how to use Keepa, we have a great Keepa training inside of the academy. Now, the next one is don't tank the price if you're piggybacking on a listing. That means that you're jumping on an existing listing that somebody's already selling. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be wanting to get rid of their inventory, and they're going to flush the price, meaning they're going to lower the price because they probably already made their money. And then I'm talking about people who order pallets or large quantities of a specific thing. And so maybe they were originally selling that item for $30 and they've dropped it all the way down to 10. Sometimes just waiting them out is the best thing to do, and letting them get rid of, flush their inventory so they don't have to pay long-term storage fees. And other times it's like, okay, maybe it's, if that thing that you can see inside of Keepa is going to pop back up in March, maybe it's worth buying out all their inventory and relisting it. Because again, there are different strategies. This is you're playing the long game. This is not the short game. So you want to engage in strategies that are going to help you make money over the long haul. Always be learning, always be learning, always be learning. So being able to learn right now, like in January, February, March, April, May, this is a great opportunity. If you've always wanted to learn how to do print on demand, if you've always wanted to learn how to do private label, if you've wanted to learn how to do, I don't know, white labeling, if you wanted to learn Shopify, this is a great window to learn that. Because if you work through your learning and, you know, maybe selling on Etsy, selling on Poshmark, selling on Mercari, get better at it, master the craft, get really good at it. And then, like, let's say you're going to work on it now for the next 3 or 4 months. And then from May, June, July, like, give it 100% of your effort so that when you go into Q4, you know, you have mastered some of the ins and outs, and it's not a surprise. Certain things are not a surprise to you. Don't be stagnant in your business. That is so important. So always be working on your skills. The platforms are always changing, which means your skills should always be changing. So learn some of the new platforms. And if you're really comfortable with just staying with one platform, then get really good at that platform, if that's all you want to do. If all you do is sell a specific product, maybe this is a great time for you to sample some other products. If your thing was always selling socks and now you want to sell candles, well, maybe that's what you start the process of learning what it takes to sell candles. What are the keywords? Where are the wholesale providers or sellers of candles? Start doing that research. Start digging into what it's going to take to sell candles. Now, another thing is, don't miss the details when you're putting up a listing. There are a lot of people who just throw up listings. They put up horrible photos. They put a horrible description. They put the wrong dimensions in, and they cost a lot of people a lot of money, because on Amazon, when you put the wrong dimensions, they base that off of your shipping. And that means, and sometimes your storage fees, not sometimes, but and your storage fees. And it can cost you some money because somebody put the wrong dimensions because they don't know what they're doing, or they're missing out on keywords. And so a lot of this is going to matter if you are piggybacking off of another listing. Always go in and populate some additional fields if you can. If you can replace that photo, replace the photo. If you, add as much as possible to that listing. And if you're creating your own listing, don't be lazy. This is money. Your listing is money because you are technically selling keywords. You're selling photos and keywords. I mean, I'm going to be honest about it. Sometimes people read the words, and sometimes they look at the picture. If the picture is good enough, they know what they're buying. So a lot of people are buying off of mobile devices. So don't overlook the important things that are going to help you make money in your business and get that sale. And then, I tell people all the time, the key is to get started. You can sign up for all the training in the world. You can have all the mentors in the world. You can get all the coaching in the world, but if you don't take any action, if you just sit on that training and I will tell you, I'm one of those people. I actually probably about $5,000, $6,000 worth of training over the last 4 years, 5 years, maybe somewhere off in there. And there's still training I haven't even cracked. Like I never logged into it. And those databases where that training was stored is gone. Like I can't log in there now if I wanted to. It's gone. So what you need to do is you definitely need to be consistent in your business, and you need to start now. Don't procrastinate in your business. Get started. Build a schedule so you can be consistent, because the consistency is what makes you money. The consistency is what takes somebody that was investing $50 a week into their business, and then they get up to investing $5,000 a week into their business, and then they get up to investing, you know, $10,000, $15,000 a week into their business. They go from maybe making $2,000 or $3,000 a month in their business to making $2,000 or $3,000 a week in their business to making $2,000 or $3,000 a day in their business. It is a gradual progression. You have to be consistent in your listing. And I always say that if you're going to, once you get started, invest without fail for no less than 3 months or 90 days. Just you're priming the pump. You're priming the pump, priming the pump, priming the pump. It really should be 6 months, because again, this is a business. This is a sales business. You don't know when something is going to sell. You can guesstimate, but you cannot get it actual. So we say stay in the top 1 to 3% of whatever you're going to sell in a category, or if it's a keyword that's already pushing, it's already getting a lot of traction on Google and also on Merchant Words or on Amazon or whatever platforms you're using to validate that keyword, those keywords are, you know, people are hunting for them. Then just be consistent. You're not throwing the money away, but just invest and walk away from the fact that, hey, I haven't gotten paid yet. Just hold on to the money and wait. But invest consistently every single week for a finite amount of time. I recommend no less than 3 months. My best recommendation is 6 months. Do 6 months of 100% investing of whatever the number is going to be. And believe it or not, you could get to, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 in profit by the end of a year. This is the beginning of the year. I did a calculation and I showed people how investing $25 every single week and reinvesting 100% of the profits from the $25. And roughly I put some estimates in there that you would get the money back anywhere from 4 to 6 or 8 weeks or less. And so reinvesting 100% of the profits that you get out of the business off of $25 a week, that compounds over time, and you can have some big dollars in your bank account at the end of the year or at the end of 52 weeks. It's a matter of just being consistent. So for that person who is frustrated, that $25 may start off with $100 a month in profit, then $100 a week in profit, then $100 a day in profit, then $100 an hour in profit. You just reinvest 100% of the profits for a specific amount of time. It works, it works, it works. All right, the next one is make sure that you're making data-driven decisions. Now, I will tell you there are things that I get a feel for this thing is gonna sell. A perfect example would be unicorns. So there was a lot of stuff out around unicorns. Unicorns were getting a lot of press and they're still hot. So was the slime, all the glitter, anything shiny, that kind of stuff. So, but before unicorns were hot, you know, it was a matter of they were getting a lot of traction and a lot of press. So if I see that there's a pattern or there's kids commercials about it, there's a lot of toys around it. Maybe it was in the toy show, it was whatever. Then I'm going to say, okay, they're going to push this particular item. I'm going to invest light to get started. I may increase my investments later and get heavy in it. But for right now, I'm going to start off light. So make sure that you're making data-driven decisions and don't get emotional about it and don't get an opinion about certain products. Like people will say, well, I don't know why somebody would pay that much for this. That's not the question you should be asking. The question becomes, if you have the right data on the item, where can I find more of this thing? Whatever this thing is, whether it's a certain type of paper, whether it's a certain type of shoestring, I don't care what it is. Whatever it happens to be, the question becomes, where can I get more of it if the data shows that this thing is flying off the shelf? So again, Keepa is a great tool. Brickseek will help you find the items if you're doing retail arbitrage. If you have access to wholesalers, and they can, you know, you can negotiate the prices on getting your item at a discounted price. But pay attention to some of the toy shows that are coming out. There's a toy show that's coming out this month. I think next month, I think it's the New York Toy Show. There's also, I know the remnants of the New York Toy Show will come to Dallas because the World Trade Center, the other World Trade Center, is here in Dallas. The other one in New York is gone, but Dallas has a World Trade Center, and so there's a bunch of wholesale distributors inside of there. And so the remnants of the toy show comes to Dallas, and we can go there the first of every month on day 1 and day 2, the first Monday and Tuesday, and pay cash for toys that were on display, which is awesome. But don't get emotional about certain things, and don't question, well, why would somebody pay this much for a shirt, or why would somebody pay that much for this toy? That's not the question. If it's a thing that's moving, you need to figure out how to get more of it. Do what works for you. I am a single mom with 2 special needs kids, so I run my business on certain days of the week, and other days of the week I don't get to do it. This year, my entire schedule is going to be completely blown up. It's already been blown up because they're changing my son's therapy schedule. And so I have to build a brand new schedule for 2020, which means I have to build a new routine or a new habit for me and my kids. So once you find something that works for you, if you like selling on Amazon, if you like selling on eBay, if being able to do retail arbitrage on your way to work and on your way back from work, back home, works with your schedule, if doing wholesale or doing online arbitrage, if those work with your lifestyle, do more of what works for you and optimize that. Focus on that. You know, if you want to expand into other areas, figure out once you've built your schedule when you can slide that into your schedule. Maybe you only slide it in for an hour or 2 hours each week, but the other time you're focused on what you know already makes you money. Do more of that, optimize that, streamline that, automate that, whatever it is that's working for you in your business. 10 everything, we say it all the time. You never know what's going to sell. You just never know what's going to sell. Trust me. All right. So this one is a big one. Being patient in your business. There are so many people like, I sent it in to Amazon and nothing has sold yet. And I'm like, when did you send it in? 10 days ago? Oh, please stop talking to me. Please stop talking to me. So if you just send something in, you have to give it time to move. You have to give it time to sell. You have to give it time. There's going to be some things, the rank is amazing, you send it in, the rank is 4, and it gets there, and the rank is now, I don't know, 708. You're like, what happened there? It's okay. It's still going to move. It's still below 1,000. Just be patient. As long as your account's in good standing, as long as you meet the criteria, you get the rotation of the buy box. And even if you don't, there's still some people that will go and search and buy it from you. If you're selling on Amazon, if you're doing other platforms. So just be patient in your business. Like I said, I recommend that if once you start investing, you know, invest consistently, work in your business consistently, no less than 3 months or 90 days. The preferred amount would be at least 6 months. Give it a serious, hard 6 months. I gave it everything I got. I was consistent. I worked in my business. I followed a schedule, you know, and I did it regularly for 6 months. And if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. But just remember, this business is a marathon, not a sprint. I think I spelled that wrong, but I'll go back and check. Okay, so good customer service is extremely important. It'll also potentially save you money. It can get you some feedback and it will get repeat customers. Believe it or not, especially on some of the mobile apps, like people will buy from people who they got really great customer service, putting a little card in there and saying, thank you. You would not believe how many repeat sales you can get from people, or they will recommend, hey, I go and I buy from this specific person, especially if you've got a Facebook, like you've got a store for the Facebook marketplace, definitely. Pay attention to the retailers, because the retailers are always going to tell you what is moving, what is selling, what they expect to move, what they expect to sell, and always check in the obscure places of the store. So the 3 stores that I like to go to and kind of check and see what's happening, and also reach out to my connections at those stores, is the Dollar Tree, because the Dollar Tree always puts out stuff early. Walmart, I like to go check in the seasonal area, because again, the Christmas trees were in there around September. So back to school is probably going to be in the seasonal area. I'm going to guess in May or June. It's just surprising. And then the other store I like to sometimes check out is Big Lots, because again, certain places of the store, things are going to be. Now, some of the smaller stores like Walgreens and CVS, they'll also remind me, because for Valentine's Day, most people don't notice on that top, on the very, very top of the aisles, like up against the border of the store, they'll actually have those big giant stuffed animals all around the borders of the store for Valentine's Day, and they'll have them in there like in November and December, because they can't, they're too big. They can't put them anywhere else. So again, something to think about. Pay attention to the stores. Make a note, like keep a notebook in your car or one in your purse, or use the recording on the notepad or memo pad on your phone so that you can make notes that, oh my gosh, I am now seeing St. Patty's Day stuff. I should probably send in my St. Patty's Day. Okay. One other tip that I use, just so you know, there's a certain time of the week that I will do like some deep research. So on Sundays, I set some time aside, at least a couple of hours, to do deep research on specific products that I want to go deeper into, or I want to potentially sell more of, or I'm trying to figure out the trends on. So if there's something that I need to do some deep research on, or I need to plan out my week, then I'm going to do that on Sunday. That is my day. So I would encourage you, when I talked about time blocks, that you figure out a way to build a schedule that works for you, so that you can do that deep research and you can work on, work on building a schedule that's going to work for you and your business. So we are at the end of our 2020 tips. Go back and listen to the previous training. We also have some additional trainings coming up in the eCom Sellers Academy. So if you're not a member, I want to encourage you to join. So here's my little, 2-minute spiel or 2-minute pitch. For 2020, we are going to be rolling out some additional trainings. We've got 10 training series that we're wrapping up, because eCom Sellers Academy launched in May 20th of 2019. But we actually have been doing this for a while. The majority of all the leaders, we were all part of a company by Colin Finney. We were part of the No Excuses group. And so we have been doing this for quite some time. We've been selling on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, whatever. And we've been doing it for a while. So for 2020 in the Academy, we're actually going to be doing something more for our Academy members. We're committed to providing a retail arbitrage list for free to our Academy members. So starting next week, we're going to be giving away a retail arbitrage list every single week to our Academy members. They will get that for being an active paid member. So they will get a retail arbitrage list of no less than 15 items that they can go and source, because we're all about helping people get results. We really want people to know that you can be successful in this business. In addition to that, we're going to be rolling out workshops on our anniversary, and those workshops are going to be results oriented. I can talk. They're going to be results oriented, meaning at the end of every single workshop, it's going to be a great opportunity for the person who participates in the workshop to actually complete the task of whatever it is that that workshop is about. So if I say that we're going to hold a workshop and show you how to create your Shopify store, we're not just going to show you because anybody can sit there and watch. We're literally going to start it, and then we're going to have you log in, and you're going to be building a store while we're building a store. And we're going to stop, and we're going to pause. We're going to let you ask questions, and we're going to move on. And we're doing this all online because at the end of that Shopify workshop, you will have a store live. You will have a store with products in it. You will have a store that you can market. And you will have marketing strategies that are provided to you, and you will be able to do them. We will walk you through how to do Facebook ads. We will walk you through, and you will do them real time if you sign up for those workshops. So the workshops are free to Academy members. Other people are going to have to pay for them. You get them absolutely free with us. And they start on our anniversary. So we're going to, I think we have roughly 15 to 20 workshops in the pipeline for 2020 that are going to start in May. And so we want everybody to get the results that they want to get in their business. If you want to learn how to sell on Etsy, or you want to learn, we have the training for it. And then we're going to do a workshop so you can set up your store real time. You can put in listings real time. If you want to do print on demand, we're going to do a print on demand session. We're going to do an Amazon Merch by Amazon session so that you can actually, in the session, apply for your store. Then we're going to check back with everybody to make sure, apply for your approval. We're going to check back with people and see where they are. And if you didn't get approved, then we'll, that particular session, we'll come back to it so that we can make sure the majority of the members got approved. And we will teach you how to reapply. Once we get you approved, then we're going to start the process. Now let's go and pull up an item and let's go ahead and create a design together. And we're going to walk through it. So it is literally taking you step by step because we want you to get results. We want you to have, if you want to do Shopify, we want you to have your Shopify store up. We don't want you to sign up for a Shopify training and you didn't actually create the store. You didn't actually complete the task. We want you to complete the task. Now, we can't make everybody complete the task, and we don't want you just watching another hour, 2 hours worth of videos. These workshops are going to be designed for you to take action during the workshop so that at the end of the day, everybody that participated in the workshop completed are all at the same place at the same time. So when the workshop starts up again the next day or whatever day it starts up, that everybody's starting at the same place. It'll be like a classroom. So that's the goal for 2020, is that we're rolling out a retail arbitrage list for our paid Academy members. We're rolling out workshops for our paid Academy members. If you're not a paid Academy member, you're gonna have to pay for each one of those workshops. And you can pick which ones you want to sign up for. That's your call. And you can pay to participate in that workshop. If you want to buy a retail arbitrage list, we'll sell it to you. But you get it for free as part of the Academy. The other thing is that we've already started giving away ASINs or for people to get auto approved on Amazon. And so we're going to continue that auto approval, that each month we're going to give you at least 30 ASINs, 15. We do what's called a auto approval party, ungating party. We do an ungating party twice a month. And so during that ungating party, we give you 15 ASINs to go and see if you can get auto approved for. And then the second time we have the ungating party, you get to go see if you get approved for the next 15. So you'll have 30 every single month. So you got 30 ASINs to go get auto approved in. And then during our listing party, we're gonna give you 10 wholesale supplier names so that you can reach out to them and see if you can establish a wholesale account. So you got 10 wholesale suppliers. We're gonna give you another 10 if you come to the listing, because we host 2 listing parties a month. Every single month we have 2 listing parties, and every single month we have 2 auto ungating parties. So that is 20 wholesale suppliers you get for being an Academy member. That is 30 ungating ASINs you get every single month for being an Academy member. And that is, I forgot what the number is. Is it 10? Is it 20? I think it's 10, 20. So that's 40, or maybe it's 80. I got to go back and look at the recording, but I forget what our number is. It's 15. It's 15. Sorry, I have too many things on the brain. So anyway, you get 15 products to go and source from every single week. So what is that? 15, 30, 60, 60? I don't know. I got to go back and look at my notes. But anyway, it's at least 40 to 80. It's somewhere in that number. It's either 40, 60, or 80. And that's what you get for being part of the Academy. And it's 100% part of your membership. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you know anybody that is looking to get results in 2020, because the Academy cares about your success, we want to help you. You can join us. As long as your membership's active, you'll get the list. You'll get all of it, absolutely free. So with that being said, I hope this information was helpful. I hope it was a blessing to you. And I hope that your 2020 is amazing. And I would just encourage you, either meditate on your business if you're not a believer, and if you are a believer, 21 days of prayer, and see what God will do in your business. All right, that's it. Thank you for coming. And I will talk with you guys later. Goodbye for now.